You don't have to be a music buff to recognize the tune, just the two of us. It's been covered by countless artists and reappears in pop culture consistently. From the Will Smith rap cover in 1997, you remember Big Willie style, to the parody in Austin Powers with Dr. Evil rapping to his pint-sized clone, to simply being featured at the ending credits of the 2020 sequel to Borat, covered by a Romanian brass band. I think what makes this song so appealing is its simplicity and form, which makes it very easy to cover in any unique style. And that brings me to a dope neo-soul guitar version I found by Shingo Sekiguchi. So I'm going to break down the three main parts of his arrangement, the intro, verse, and chorus, so you can play this timeless tune in the dopest way possible. And if you want to follow along with the interactive tab, check us out on Patreon. Here we go. First things first, let's get our chords in order. Now for the intro, our chord progression is C6-9, B7 sharp 5, E minor 7, D minor 7. Now if this chord progression sounds familiar to you, I actually did a video called the most popular neo-soul chord progression because I hear like every guitar player on Instagram playing this chord progression because it just sounds so good. So if you want to learn more about the theory behind what this chord progression is and why it's so cool, check out my video right over there. So this intro is played with a slap groove, so let's just find our C6-9 chord and pay attention to what the right hand's doing. So I got my C6-9 right here, and I'm going to put my thumb on the E string, my index finger on the D, and then going down, middle finger on the G, ring finger on the B. And I'm going to start, thumb, index, and then these two fingers together. And then as I grab these two fingers, my pinky is going to hammer down on the 9th fret of the D string. Even though I'm not plucking it, I'm still going to do that. And then next, I'm going to slap and strum at the same time by flicking my fingers down. My wrist, kind of like that part of my wrist, hits the guitar while I flick my fingers down. And I'm going to pluck up one more time with those middle 3 strings. So that's my move so far. And the very last thing I'm going to do is when I strum and slap at the same time, I'm going to move my chord up a half step and then bring it back down for that last grab. But it's really quick. It's tricky at first, so if you've never done this before, really go slow. And then I go to my B7 sharp 5, I find that chord in my left hand, and my right hand starts off by just plucking each string. Thumb, index, middle, ring. And then I'm going to go to this other inversion, you could say, of this chord, where it's really just these. You could think of it like a 9 chord or a 13 chord if you want, but it's really just a top part of this B7 sharp 5. And then same move as I kind of did before, slap and strum at the same time. And this time I'm going to kind of strum up with my index finger, and all I do with this chord is I take away my pinky. But then just like before, when I slap, I'm going to slide up a half step. So far I got my C6-9 to B7 sharp 5. And then our next move on the E minor 7 is very similar to the move that we did for the first chord, C. I start with just the bar, thumb, index, and then I'm going to grab the 2 strings together. When I do that, I hammer into my E minor 7. Slap and strum at the same time. Up with my index finger. Yeah, just like that. And then I go to my D minor 9. I pluck the bottom 4 strings. Just like that, one after the other. And this time when I do my slap and strum, I'm going to hammer my pinky down to the high E. And I'm going to do a little bit more of a rake with this upstrung. Alright, let's see this whole intro slow. Alright, now for the verse, we're not going to do so much slapping. It's going to be a little bit more choosing which notes you pick out of the chord. So we're going to start with the C major 7, just a regular C major 7 chord. Thumb on the E, index on the D, ring and middle on the G and B. And I start with the same pattern as I did in the intro. And then I'm just going to grab that B string alone again to bring out that melody. And then this time I'm going to go to a regular B7 chord. And I'm going to play it like this, not worrying about the A string, because I'm going to bring these fingers down here to grab that melody. And then I grab that G string to bring out that melody. And then I bring my ring finger down to that B string 8th fret. Get that chord. And then my melody is going to be on the 10th fret of the B. Yeah. And it's important when we do the E minor 7 chord that I bring my fingers up to the top 3 strings so I get that high E string 7th fret, because that's my melody. That's the melody I want to bring out. And then keep it moving. I'm going to get the D string, strum again, pinky on the 10th fret for the melody. And then I bar the 10th fret to make a D minor 7 chord, and I hammer into the 12th fret, making it a D minor 9. And just bring it back out again. And this time, staying with that bar, my thumb's going to go to the A string, hammer down to the B string. And we could do a couple of different things here, but what I like to do is just go in and out of the 13th fret. And that's just a nice little move. After that G7 move, we're going to come back around to our C major 7, but this time I'm going to play it a little bit different again. So I have my regular C major 7 chord, but I'm going to use my index finger that comes around this way to fret that 7th fret. And then the 8th fret B string. And we're going to grab just that one note, 10th fret of the B string, build my B7 around there by barring the 7th fret, middle finger right there. Just going on up. Yeah. I do my E minor 7 chord, I hammer into it. Alright, let's check out this whole verse melody and see what it looks like. Alright, so now getting into the chorus, we got this nice little pickup melody that's just the melody, and it comes out of the E blues scale. And just know where those blues notes are, and then it'll make a little bit more sense of where it's coming from. Just like that. Go to our A minor 7. After I grab that full chord with the high E string, my pinky gets the melody note on the B. Then I go to this next chord, which is a first inversion G chord. And after I grab that whole thing, barring the 7th fret, middle finger on the 8th fret of the B string, I'm going to pluck E, D, G, and then the high E. My pinky's going to get right there, and then go right off to the 7th fret. Just like that. And basically barring the 7th fret, middle finger on the 8th fret, and then ring finger on the 8th fret of the B string. And then over here we're doing kind of like a D sus chord, barring the 10th fret, ring finger on the 12th fret of the G, hammer down, so let's vibe on the first half of this chorus so far. And the second half of the chorus is pretty much the same. We're going to start off the same with the first two chords, are A minor. And this time for our G inversion, I'm just going to go all the way up, no pinky down, across. And then I go to my C major 7, index finger grabbing the 7th fret, and then down to the B string on top. Hearing that melody? That's what we want to bring out. And then my C over D. And what I could do is I could repeat that melody by going right into my my lead-in line. Or to go back to the intro, I play the C sharp 7 flat 5. So our full chorus is 5 what it sounds like with our little intro lick. Okay guys, that's it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this video and what you're listening to or learning on guitar. I love hearing from all you guys, and your feedback really helps inspire me. You can hit me up on IG too, DM me, leave a comment. Don't be a stranger. So I'm going to leave you with me playing all 3 parts of this arrangement that we just learned. And for my Patreon members, you can follow along with the interactive tab throughout the whole performance and the entire lesson as well. I appreciate all the support. Keep jamming and stay nasty.